have that culture of like.
If you break my heart, I go dead to your father. Bunny, Danny beat, the 90s bad girl trend. See, I heard them say, boy, you a player. You the score like Messi, play like Kaka, dribble like Picasso. You the like Barcelona, Real Madrid, Arsenal, Man U, Chelsea. I go give you my heart, give you body, do anything for you. Sacrifice my life to be your wife. I'm gonna be there for you.
Now we have in studio Miss Vickie Remoe, okay. Miss Vickie Remoe. She's from Sierra Leone and she's a TV producer. Let's say welcome.
Good morning and plenty kushe and audu from the lovely country of Sierra Leone, just about 12 hours drive from Liberia.
And I understand you are also a journalist.
I am indeed a journalist, but I don't practice journalism full-time because you know journalism don't pay. And they don't respect us too. That's just the fact.
Wow.
But my full-time job is I'm a TV producer and I also own a marketing company in Sierra Leone.
So how long you been in Liberia?
I got here on Monday night. So we traveled by road from Freetown to Monrovia and we're documenting the entire process because it's really important, not just for me, but I think for Sierra Leoneans and for our new president to foster regional integration and for Sierra Leoneans and Liberians and all the Kamara River Union especially to do better as together, because you know we're smaller countries, we're not as big as Ghana, we're not as big as Nigeria, so we're going to do better in West Africa as a bloc if we're united. And part of that isn't just a question of politics, it's also a question of cultural integration, that we as a people work together on the low man-to-man level. So I'm here to show Sierra Leoneans that, you know, you've heard of Liberia, we talk about Liberia all the time, we're always comparing ourselves to you guys.
So is this your first time in Liberia?
It is my very first time in Liberia.
And how's your stay?
I'm actually sincerely overwhelmed because it is way beyond my expectations. I had heard a lot of terrible things like everybody else. When you're not from a place, you just know what's on the news. But I also know that the news never captures the full story, especially as a journalist.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
aware of that. So I wanted to come for myself, but it's more important also for me to show people and take the stories back home to Sierra Leone so that they understand that like we're really more alike than we are different. Our patois is slightly different. You guys, you speak much faster than us. But for the most part, you know, we have such a shared history, both from the American Colonization Society and the founding of our countries by former slaves, and to political history, to, you know, in more recent time, you know, the Civil War, and even to Ebola. Like we really have been walking this parallel journey together. So every time we do these series, the key things are to cover art and culture, you know, tourist sites. I went to the Liberia National Museum yesterday. It's always, going to the museum is always a big part of our visits to any country, because that's the only place you're gonna get the official story, right? So we went to the museum, I went to Waterside Market.
Oh, wow.
I believe it is the hottest place in Africa.
Wow.
Today we're going to Robertsport and we're going to spend the entire day there. Yes, because I hear that it has the best surfing and it's really the best place to get the landscapes and like the beaches of Liberia. We also went to a former Ducor hotel because I heard that it has the best panoramic view. I think, you know, I look at it and I'm like, it still feels so grand. Like it feels, you can still feel how powerful and how magnificent it was in its heyday, even though it's in ruins. And you know, I'm walking there and I'm thinking, I still don't know any hotel in all the places that I've been on the continent. I mean, we have a Kempinski hotel in Ghana, and I still don't, it doesn't feel so grand. Like you're going up the steps and you're like, man, these people must have had money. This is like, this is a place, this is like you know, this is, it really wasn't lost on me. And then I read on the internet that Idi Amin swam swam in the swimming pool with his pistol, and I was like, oh, that's just a good story.
So you felt glad and they took up all this hotel.
I was. I mean, you're both. It's a double-edged thing, right? If that's the thing about our narrative. It's both bitter and sweet. So you're up there and you're thinking, man, this was such a grand place. But at the same time, you're there thinking, I can't believe people let this go to waste. You know, I can't believe people destroyed this. I can't believe this is in ruin when we should be passing on to future generations and say, look at what our forefathers built. Instead, it's like just there. And, you know, you start to think, how much investment would a building like this need? And if it does get the investment, whoever invests, will they ever be able to recover their investment? Is Liberia going to be able to bring in tourists who are going to stay in these hotels? Because it's not just a question of building the building, it's that you have to recover your investment. And you know, right now, Sierra Leone and Liberia and Guinea, for some part, it's like every time we start getting up, because you know, after 2013, 2014, right. Liberia was growing, the economy was growing, Sierra Leone was growing. We were all so like, we felt like we were going places. If you read all the World Bank reports, we're like fastest growing economies. We're like, yeah, we're going. And then it's like witchcraft. And these Ebola hit us. I'm sorry, if you're like, hey. God, how many times do we have to undergo these kinds of like just catastrophic events that just completely take us off our trajectory of growth? But I'm really happy to be here and to see that, like, you know, it's really bounced back, and it's great. I'm like really excited for Liberia, really.
If you break my heart, I go dead to your father. You gonna be my son, you go call me your mother. If you break my heart, I go dead to your father. You gonna be my son, you go call me your mother. I'll go fear, I go tell my go fear. I'll go fear, so me casa tie me. Me love you, me denche me love you. Me love you, so me casa tie me. See the love I have for you. The love I have for you. See the love I have for you. It's for nobody else but you. My castle, you know, say I get a more. Bobby stand, you know, say I own a more. And no star there where I know Sabi do one more. Me, I don't like Versace, and I don't like designer. Me, I don't like Ferrari, and I don't like Bugatti. I go give you my heart, give you body, do anything for you. Sacrifice my life to be your wife, I'm gonna be there for you. But if you break my heart, I go dead to your father. You gonna be my son, you go call me your mother. Say if you break my heart, I go dead to your father. You gonna be my son, you go call me your mother. I'll go
Village will not come out. Hi, are you okay? Oh, hi, great. Hi, how are you? Vickie, good to meet you. Don't mind these people. You can't greet anybody. Did he greet you?
No, he's the manager of the concert.
It's not a village, it's a town.
It's a town, it's a city.
How many people do you have living here?
I don't even know how many people live here.
Then how do you know if it's a town? You think you can just say it's a town and then it's a town?
I think it's about 4,000 people.
Is that enough for a town?
So, but I think they call it Rockwood. It's a city.
It's
no,
a
don't
city?
Don't call us a village, you know.
But village is cute. It's like
it is.
It's like, you know, you don't want to be in the city, because I don't want to come to a city by the beach. I want to come to a little village by the beach, a little like town by the beach, you know? Because it's a getaway, right? You don't want to feel like when I come, the same kind of things that are going on in town is
no,
what
definitely you wouldn't see the same thing.
That's why we would come here. So what are you doing?
Doing fish processing.
Oh.
So I buy from the fishermen and I bring it and process and sell in the local market. So with our market, we also come here.
So they buy from you?
No, a lot of the market we will sell that stuff here.
Oh, okay. You have freezers for that to make their stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, take my picture out.
You take my full picture, you pay for it.
You want to take my picture? You also ask me for anything out.
Oh yeah. Do you cook the breadfruit?
Yeah.
Wait, do we boil? What do we do to our breadfruit?
I should make it as long.
Yeah, but no,
It's lunchtime?
Yeah. No, her mom's made it for me.
Oh, okay. Where's your mom?
No, her mom.
Oh,
That
her
breakfast?
mom made it for you. This is breakfast?
No, she just said it.
Oh, she's because, you know, it's slow. Oh my God. So this is a fish processing plant? How long have you been doing that?
3 years.
Why?
There's an opportunity here in Liberia and on the coast of West Africa, and I took advantage of it.
Are you a fishing person? Are you originally from this area?
No,
Where are you from?
Monrovia.
Oh,
Went to school in America a little bit.
okay.
Business background. Came back to
Okay.
Liberia, worked in Monrovia for a little bit.
Okay.
Saw the opportunity in fishing. I thought, I can throw myself in this. Move up to
And you-
Robertsport, liked it, and got to be a fisherman.
Wow, that's so amazing because, you know, I come from, you know, in Freetown, I live next to the ocean. Like the front of our house and the back of our house is water. And, you know, the area is actually called Banana Water. Like banana and water. And I mean, there are no more bananas because we have so much, like, so many people have come and stayed there now. But it's a fishing community, and it's always been this culture of Korean trawlers and Chinese fishing trawlers coming to the community, fishing in the waters, and then coming, and there's like a fishing company that's been there, and they've had their own boats in the past, and it's actually a woman-owned company, and she's half Ghanaian, and but it's
woman owning fishing. That's nice.
yeah, she's probably the biggest like the biggest female tycoon that I've ever known, because she's been in fisheries, she's in transport, she's in like events, she's in water. They own the biggest water company, like but it's kind of all, it wasn't a community thing, right? I mean, like, what's interesting is with your model is that, like, yeah, you're not from this community, but it's such a sustainable approach to doing what you're doing. You know, she used to always have like lots of issues with the local community. There's always something, you know, people stealing, people this, da da da. And I just can't imagine you'd be having those issues because everybody feels invested.
I mean, we still do have that type of issue. I mean, one of the main reasons is because of the drug infestation in the area, you know, which is almost, especially in Liberia right now, in the fishing community.
Is it the tramadol?
Tramadol is one of them.
Does he have a tramadol?
Yeah, tramadol is one of them, and then the next one is hardcore drugs that parents come from Nigeria, other places like that. Yeah, so it's bad.
Okay.
So a lot of the fishermen are getting on the stuff like that. Yeah. So it's, I mean, so
yeah, of course, that always causes like instability, and you know.
But other than that, I think everybody the whole place is a community effort. Actually, you know, a lot of people, like you see today, the lady cooks, send me food. I'll get food like some days, like everywhere from different people. I know back home they say, oh, don't eat from people, don't do this, you know, what you grab.
You know, with black people.
37.
Have you seen? I was about to say, have you seen what's his name? Samuel L. Jackson. Like, when I found out how old Samuel L. Jackson was, I was like, no.
37.
And he's been doing this for 3 years. When did you move back to Liberia?
Almost like 8 years ago.
Okay.
Came back, I was in Monrovia with Chiquita, and everybody was hanging out, partying, living it, you know. Yeah, enjoying
We made it!
Yeah. And then got into fishing. I like fishing and farming. I just threw myself in the boat, fishing and farming.
Do you have siblings?
Yes.
Where are they?
Monrovia, U.S.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is just so interesting. I mean, I don't know what to say, but because we had this whole conversation, I was on the radio this morning on Capital FM, and you know they were just asking me what I'm doing here, because I came up from Freetown by road, and you know I'm trying to show people, like, you know, just that, because this will broadcast on frequency early, and I'm trying to show people that, you know, we're really more similar than we are different, and you know there's so much going on, and they were asking me like what I thought, and I was just saying that I really think that agriculture and tourism are the only two things that like we should be focused on in terms of
artisanal fishing too.
Well, I mean that too as well, because you know,
I mean, it all
communities,
falls also on our agriculture.
Yeah, so I mean, so it's so weird because, and then now I'm here and it's like, oh, somebody's already doing that.
Actually, like, right, I mean, Robertsport was so beautiful. It's your first time in Robertsport?
Yeah.
So
it's
beautiful.
My first time in Liberia.
So many islands out here. Like when I first got here, all I used to do was just like jump into the canoes, jump on the lake, because you know, the beautiful, like, got the lake, the ocean right here, then we got the lake.
And it's also still untapped. It just looks like no one's come here to develop it yet.
Now, one day, to enjoy Robertsport, you gotta come here. Let me know you come in advance.
Okay.
You wear boot shoes. We can actually go fishing.
The thing is, I brought my shorts because I'm like, well, I'm going to the beach. I'll bring my shorts, but yeah, this is
like
just...
stay a weekend. We go fishing in the ocean.
No, you're totally right, and I
go up the mountain, go hiking.
Because if I came just from the border to here, it'd have been a shorter drive. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to Suleiman sailing, but I went by the ocean.
Okay. We didn't go to Suleiman, but we passed by, and one of my friends was saying, you should have stopped.
You know, this fishing community is crazy. It's actually middle class. They're not poor people.
Right.
I don't know if they choose to live in poverty or public sector, which is the government. It's just not paying too much attention to them. But they're actually a huge middle class.
And they're also kind of, they spend a lot of time moving along the coast, along the different countries, right? So like Cape Coast, Freetown, here, like all along the coast, and Togo as well.
But they make money though.
Of course they do. They make money in fish. The only problem is that, like, you know, unfortunately, a lot of times they're on the lower end of the supply chain. And of course, it's when you can do this in your community that you really get to see, like, and get your own boats. And you know what I mean? Like trawlers, that's when, you know, like...
But you know, trawlers, I don't really like trawlers that much.
Okay.
Like if you use, like you see artisanal fishermen, like I like Fanti canoes, the bigger canoes, put outboard engines and stuff. Because trawlers, once the trawler comes, they'll just damage the entire water. That's what happened like in Dakar and stuff like that. The good thing about Liberia, we don't have trawlers here right now, and I hope they keep it that way. But we just deal with like just the local fishermen and local artisanal fishermen.
But is that ever going to be enough for you to be able to export?
Yeah, we're enough. We got so much stuff here.
Really?
Like local market. I mean, we're not like I'm only in Robertsport. I'm not even buying everything. I'm not even dealing with, you know, the long coastline that we have. Artisanal fishing alone can handle local market. Then we got lobster, shrimp, octopus, those things that local market don't even pay much attention to. That I mean, we're not even getting that much money here for that way, you know, that you can actually export outside.
What's the model to scale something like this? How do you scale it? Like,
what do you mean?
Like, what's the, okay, you're here now, but what's the next phase? Is it opening something similar in another community that's like a fishing town, and then like so like just replicate the model?
Almost every
so that every small fishing community has like
a... like I'm actually buying from there. I have my own canoes and stuff. I have my main hub in Monrovia where like I send all my goods to.
Okay, like a little frozen warehouse or something.
So and I sell out from there.
Okay.
You know, like first when I started with like processing, I was like, you know what? I can't really depend on these fishermen because they don't understand it's actually a business.
Right.
So they will go today, they wouldn't go tomorrow, they'll go to the...
Yeah, you're like, man.
I need a supply, you know. I need a supply. So I was like, you know, I get my own canoes. So I got 2 of my own canoes. So I go. Then I started going out with the guys. You know, I started going fishing, go 2, 3, 4 days, take ice with us. So now with that, I know my quality is good. From the minute I catch it, goes straight on ice. So everything that goes to every hotel, everybody that distribute is good, you know, and stuff. So I bring it down, process it. Then I got people that now all the hotels calling. They want fillet, they want this, they want that. So I package for them. Then I have local market, like local market, like sardine and all that stuff. Then I put in the cartoons. Then I send it to Monrovia, Ghana, so then market women comes and then buy. But then these other market women bring that stuff now. They're like distributors for me also, kind of. Because I mean, I don't buy it, but they buy it and bring it to the store, everything. But then the next morning, they pick them up and then they take it to Bummy and all these little towns around here and sell. So even if I'm not selling, I'm still making money off it.
So now we're gonna go to Nana's Lodge here in Robertsport in Liberia. And I've been to a lot of places, but I can definitely tell you this is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to.
And those that there where I don't sabi do one more. Me I don't like Versace, and I don't like designer. Me I don't like Ferrari, 90s bad girl trend. See, I heard them say, boy, you a player. You the score like Messi, play like Kaka, dribble like Picasso. You the like Barcelona, Real Madrid, Arsenal, Man U, Chelsea. I go give you my heart, give you body, do anything for you. Sacrifice my life to be your wife. I'm gonna be there for you. But if you break my heart, I go dead to your father.
So we've just left FK's fishing company, and he's told us that this is Fancy Town, where we have a lot of fancies from Ghana's Cape Coast, fishermen who live here and who have boats here and who are fishing here. So we've come to see the boats, you know, because Ghana is home to us. So we've come to see our Ghana people.
Be my son, you go call me your mother. Say if you break my heart, I go dead to your father. You gonna be my son, you go call me your mother. I'll go fear, écoutez moi go fear. I'll go fear, ça me casse à tirer me love ye, me denche me love ye, me love ye, ça me casse à tirer me. See the love I have for you. The love I have for you. See the love I have for you. It's for nobody else but you. Makasi, you know say I get a more. Bobby stand, you know say I own a more. And no star there where I know sabi do a more. Me I don't like Versace, and I don't like designer. Me I don't like Ferrari, and I don't like Bugatti. I go give you my heart, give you body, do anything for you. Sacrifice my life to be your wife. I'm gonna be there for you. But if you break my heart, I go dead to your father. You gonna be my son, you go call me your mother. Say if you break my heart, I go dead to your father. You gonna be my son, you go call me your mother. I'll go fear, every time I go fear. I'll go fear, ça me casse à tirer me love ye, me denche me love ye, me love ye, ça me casse à tirer me.
Alrighty. Whew. I feel overdressed for the beach, but you know, I'm not here so much to take in the beach and enjoy it today as I am kind of have a look and show you guys how beautiful Liberia.
You know say I get a more. Bobby stand, you know say I own a more. And no star there where I know sabi do a more. Me I don't like Versace, and I don't like designer. Me I don't like Ferrari, and I don't like Bugatti.
Bugatti, that's They has already eaten their own.
And there was one guy there was one man that Anes put to he was dealing with road.
Okay.
The party
Do I have wipes? Do you have wipes?
if you know let me yes back in the car.
Yeah, bring one.
Friends, no.
God not asleep.
Always they do me back. If they give me good party. This year we are the same. God not the people. I don't know it's you don't get up and say, my man will do this. All night logo as he say, hey, that's it.
This is the lobster? Yeah. Awesome. Oh my god, I can't believe this is like
so full lobster.
My breakfast lobster. This is huge. Charge me They'll charge me like $80 for this shit. No, I mean in the US.
In the US, yeah. It's about $25 per kilo
like ridiculousness.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I think we're good. Sauce.
Pick.
So does the Red Cross own this place?
I mean, I think they had a place here before.
Okay.
But they're not here as actors.
Okay.
She just turned this spot into
that's fantastic. Okay, that's good. She's doing good. Yeah. Do you guys... Oh, you definitely need to own a seafood restaurant then.
Yeah, we've been talking about it.
Like, I need to come here next time. Please help yourself. No, this is fine. This is local bread, no?
Yeah, my bread.
Exactly. That's what we have in Sierra Leone too.
My bread.
They know what they're doing. So, I just had... So we've been here for 4 days, and we've eaten at some really fancy places, and some really expensive places, and some international cuisine places. But the lobster that I just had here is the best food I've had in Liberia this time. So, I mean, so don't even just come for the view, come for the food at Robertsport, because it is the bomb. Like, the bomb. You know how I am about food. Like, if it wasn't good, I'd just say, like, yeah, whatever. I wouldn't even be saying this. But, like, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. My whole crew, everybody's like, yeah. It's really good. So, yeah, Robertsport is where it's at. Like, don't even go to Monrovia. Like, forget Monrovia. Like, forget Monrovia. Like, this is what's poppin'. It's delicious. So good. So good. Oh, and how I finished it all. People are gonna think I ate all this food by myself. It's like, I didn't eat it all by myself. It was a group thing. You know, I had like a tiny, tiny piece of lobster. You know how I watch my figure.
If you break my heart, I go dead to your father. Born from the tiny beat, the 90s back See, I heard them say, boy, you a player. You the score like Messi, play like Kaka, dribble like Picasso. You the like Barcelona, Real Madrid, Arsenal, Man U, Chelsea. I go give you my heart, give you body, do anything for you. Sacrifice my life to be your wife. I'm gonna be there for you. But if you break my heart, I go dead to your father. You gonna be my son, you go call me your mother. If you break my heart, I go dead to your father. You gonna be my son, you go call me your mother. I'll go fear, I go tell my go fear. I'll go fear,
in 1989, Samuel Cato changed Liberia's history forever. He set the country on a path of civil war that lasted for 14 years, and 500 million Liberians were killed and many more were displaced or mutilated. I've just come from Liberia. It's my first trip, and that is the story that I came here with. Like everybody else, the Liberia that we know is associated with Samuel Cato, Charles Taylor, amputees, and civil war. But after having spent the last week here, that's not what I'm leaving with. I'm leaving with the knowledge that Liberia is actually a really beautiful country. It's actually shocking that the Civil War is even part of their history. When you walk around the streets of Monrovia and you meet Liberians and you talk to them across all socioeconomic classes, it's really hard to believe that something like that ever happened here, because they're so calm and so open and so kind and so hospitable. One of the people that I'm going to remember from this trip was a security guard outside of our hotel. So it was late at night and I wanted to take a taxi down the road, and I asked him, how much does it cost? And he said, oh, it's 20 Liberian dollars, but I only had $20 on me. And he said, oh, he just opened his wallet and took out 20 Liberian dollars and gave it to me. And it was a touching moment, and I was overwhelmed because looking at him, I can tell like he doesn't have much. But what he did is exactly what happened to us everywhere we went. We went to Robertsport and we ate, they gave us free lobster to eat. Everywhere we went, it was like hospitality, hospitality, hospitality. And that's what I'm taking with me, that Liberians are really friendly and they're open. And not only is it open, it's just like, it's great. Like, I really, really had a lovely time. So forget what you know and forget what you've heard and give Liberia a chance. When you're thinking of a place to explore, come to Liberia, and I'm sure that it'll surprise you. This is Vickie Remoe on the border of Sierra Leone and Liberia saying, thank you, man. I had a wonderful time, and see you next time on another edition of the Vickie Remoe Show.
Me love you, me denche, me love you, me love you. Say me cause I tear me, See the love I have for you, the love I have for you. See the love I have for you. It's for nobody else but you. I see you, no say I get a more. Bobby stand you, no say I own a more. And no start there.